Welcome once again to Mimi's Book Lounge, and today we will be looking at Nearly All the Men in Lagos Are Mad by Damilare Kuku. So, this book is a collection of 12 short stories, all centered around relationship chaos in Lagos. It actually gears towards the intricacies of gender dynamics and tends to portray different types of men that can be seen in Lagos as regards their approach towards marriage, status, relationships, as well as intimacy. This kind of men includes cheaters, includes the lascivious men, the opportunistic men, the men who cannot stand on their own, the self-absorbed men, the deceitful men, and the list goes on and on. Truly, the book is filled with sharp wit and humor. And being a Nigerian myself, I actually enjoyed the humor filled in the book, and I could relate with many of all the things that were being said in the book, being that the town is in Nigeria, where I come from. However, there are some of the stories that I cannot totally say are just peculiar to Lagos only. There are some of the stories that I would say that the people who are involved in them can be seen elsewhere. So I'm going to divide this review into two. I'm going to talk about stories that I can say are majorly found in Lagos. And then I will also sift the ones that I feel is a general thing that can be seen elsewhere, not just in Lagos, not just in Nigeria, but in the whole world, actually. So stay with me. Disclaimer. This review is coming as someone who knows Lagos, not as someone who lived or lives in Lagos. These are two different things. So please, if you've lived in Lagos or you're currently living in Lagos, I really want to hear your thoughts on this. Do you share my own thoughts as well? Or do you think I may not have entirely gotten the whole picture as it is in Lagos? So stay with me. I'll begin first with the list of the stories that I believe are unique or happen majorly in Lagos. And I'll start with the first chapter, chapter 1. It's about a woman who is threatening to kill her husband, even in the presence of his family members. She has been supporting the family out of the abundance and generosity of her heart, because apparently her darling husband is not able to provide for his family or support his family, and she took it upon herself to provide for this family, even when it meant also going out of her way. Now this man suddenly turns against her, and she just has it up to here and is threatening to kill him. This happens a lot in Lagos, where men just, through maybe fault of theirs or no fault of theirs or nonchalant attitude or for whatever reason, are not able to provide for their families. Their wives turn to the pepper and the salt of the family. And this men, instead of being appreciative, treat these women badly. And so this woman is not taking it. She's threatening to kill him because of this. Yes, I agree. It will happen a lot. It happens a lot in Lagos. The second one is also chapter 2. A gigolo who is jumping from one marriage, one relationship to another, just going through them, whichever one that favors him. Of course, money-wise, there has to be money, there has to be material, there has to be wealth, there has to be a lot of material things involved, there has to be class, status, all involved, up to the point that he wasn't a Muslim, but at some point he literally converted to Islam. And not just that, I mean, anybody can convert to any religion, but then there was also an aspect of friendship betrayal. Does this happen in Lagos? Of course. And not just does it happen in Lagos, it happens so much in Lagos, where younger men are meat for older women who are not just older than them, but they have wealth, they have status, they have class. And these men not just stay with one, but they jump from one to the other. Just let it be the moving train, the one that favors their needs at that point. Then we go over chapter 4. Please, at the end of this, you will tell me who is actually mad, whether it's the lady in question or the man. Now it's a young lady who is tired of her Nigerian male friends. She has had enough of relationships, from a very demanding ex to quite a chaotic, exuberant, youthful guy way younger than her that is expressing himself in so many ways, and a whole load of disappointments. And this lady decides that no, she has had enough with Nigerian men. Now she wants a foreign man. And she has a list where she has all the things that she requires of the men. So for each foreigner that she meets, she has to tick the boxes. Does this man match my preference? Not just that she has a list, she intentionally goes to places where she knows or she's heard that there are abundance of foreign men. She eventually lands a foreign man as she wants, and of course the relationship starts blooming. But then along the way, one of her exes show up and complicates issues for her, and she's away with both of you, both the ex, both the foreigner. And I ask, who's crazy? The foreigner, the ex, or the lady who's looking for a foreigner? Well, you may say it's not bad to look for a foreigner, go for what you want. Well, it's an argument that can stand. Okay, now on to chapter 8. Catfishing. An upcoming music artist and a wannabe Instagram baddie who is supposed to be very skilled in mathematics. Supposed, so she's not, but she's claiming to be. A roommate who's supposed to be coaching her friend in having the skills required to satisfy her music artist boyfriend. And this roommate also has plans of her own and eventually steals the show. Who again, I ask, is crazy? Wannabe artist who has a whole lot of expectations, or somebody claiming to be what she's not, or a roommate who's claiming to be a friend but having her own plans? I think all of them are of the same category and they suit each other. That's my judgment for them. Chapter 9. Baby girl is struggling in Lagos. No job, fresh out of school, no job, thrown out of her house or something like that. And then lands this man who's too good to be true. You may have already started guessing where this is going, right? She lands this man who is too good to be true, who practically worships the ground she walks on, buys her a house, supplies her, automatically places her on a salary, provides everything she needs. He is the dream romantic lover boy. Baby girl is living in cloud 9. But then one day, baby girl meets a couple. She runs into a couple in the supermarket. And who's this couple? Her too good to be true boyfriend and a heavily expectant woman by his side who happens to be his wife. And Mr. Lover never told her that he was married. Baby girl had already started dreaming of a happily ever after. Of course, you will agree with me that this is a Lagos normal. This is a Lagos normal. Many ladies have been victims of this type of thing. And if you will agree with me, there is actually a lady right now in Nigeria who is in a romantic relationship with a man who she doesn't know is married. I don't want to talk about the ones who actually know that the men they are dating are married. That's a story for another day, right? But this one where the ladies are so oblivious of the men's marital status. It happens very well. So yes, I will agree that this is unique to Lagos. It may be happening in other places, but if you compare with Lagos, give it times 3. Okay, then chapter 10, Bird Gang. So this is a gang of men who are married to women, but then have extramarital affairs with their same gender. Now, their wives happen to find out in one way or the other, and they don't leave the marriage because they are enjoying so much wealth, so much freedom, everything money can buy, affluence, status, class, they are all enjoying it. So they don't walk out of the marriage, but what do? They find support with each other. And so they form a group where they support each other, tell each other what to do. They try to acquire as much wealth as possible, practically blackmailing their husbands into giving them everything they want. But deep inside, they are aching and dying. And what do they have to do? They have to support each other. Lagos, yes. Unique to Lagos, I agree. Peculiar to Lagos, definitely. Maybe happening in other places, maybe. But in Lagos, it can be said to be a filling the gap for me. Finally, in the list of the chapters that are peculiar to Lagos is chapter 12. Chapter 12 is a story about a rapist call out. So this lady was raped when she was raped 16 years ago. Now she happens to stumble upon her rapist in her child's school. This man happens to have a son in the same school as her child. And she is seeing this man for the first time, and she just cannot take it in. The memories keep flashing back, the trauma she went through and everything, and the fact that she hadn't even totally healed from it. And so she calls him out in the most humiliating way. And I say it happens in Lagos a lot because year in, year out, there's always a whole lot of call outs. And these call outs are mostly bordering on scandals, rapes, and abuse, and maybe things surrounding them. And majorly, they do happen in Lagos. So yeah, I will agree. I am so concurring that this kind of call outs happen in Lagos a whole lot. I do not know. Oh, of course, I wanted to say I do not know who's crazy in this story, but man, a rapist, no, he's mad in the head. No, he's not human. No. I don't want to go into that story. So yes, this is my list of the stories that I think are unique, or 90% or maybe 80%, 70% found very well in Lagos State of Nigeria. Now I'll go over to the list of the stories that I think are more general, can be found in other places, not just Lagos, not just Nigeria even. And so the first in the list of the ones I find as general happenings, one is chapter 3, a pastor's wife who is trying to cover up a scandal that is threatening their reputation, and this scandal is against her husband. Now, I believe that many women, especially those whose husbands are in the limelight, or maybe politically, even in religion, just in different statuses or class, whenever a scandal arises that is threatening to destroy everything they've built, these women fight tooth and nail to bring down the scandal and cover it as much as possible. So this woman in question in this story, she knows the truth. She knows her husband is guilty of the call out, of the scandal, but she is doing all she can to make the scandal go away. Now, I believe this is general. This is general. It can be seen anywhere, in not just in Lagos, not just in Nigeria, but anywhere a scandal arises, or anything, any public stunt that could damage the image of someone who is in a position of maybe power or authority, the women in question knows that they also stand to lose. So they go lengths to make sure that they deal with it. So yeah, I'm not sure it's Nigeria or Lagos only. Now chapter 5. A mama's boy. Mama's boy falls in love. So has a girlfriend, wants to marry this girlfriend. But then mama says no, because girlfriend does not fit into the image which mama wants. Mama has a profession she wants her daughter-in-law to be in, and mama boy's girlfriend is not in that profession. Mama wants her daughter-in-law to come from their ethnic group. Mama boy's girlfriend is not from that ethnic group. And mama's boy cannot stand up to his mama. He has a rift with his girlfriend because of this. And the girlfriend has to walk away because she cannot stand it. Not just that, has to be mother-in-law or supposed to be mother-in-law does not want her. But then the person that she claims to love cannot even stand up for her. Does this happen everywhere? Of course, these stories, it abounds in so many places, so many, not just Nigeria, many countries where many parents have already painted the picture of who they want their children. It can be both ways, whether son or daughter, the kind of in-laws they want. Some get away with it if they become stubborn or insist, put their foot down that I must marry this person, depending on how the family is. And some cannot just get away with it. They just have to do what their parents want. So in this case, mama's boy cannot help it, and he loses the said love of his life waiting for the picture perfect that his mother has in her head. So it happens everywhere, not just in Lagos. Chapter 6. Darling wife and darling husband. Darling husband is infertile, but his wife does not know. But his immediate family knows. Darling wife is hardworking, is loving, is supportive, doting, going to all manner of medical tests to find out what is wrong, and eventually finds out that the problem is not her, is from her beloved darling husband. And her darling husband has known all this while that he cannot father a child. And so darling wife is heartbroken and leaves the marriage. This happens everywhere. In some cases, or in many cases, the women cannot bear to walk away, maybe because they cannot stand on their own if they walk away, or maybe the shame and embarrassment of being divorced, or maybe they don't want to bring out what the problem is to the open. They don't want their husbands to be put to shame. And you can only imagine the lengths these women go just to cover up these things. We don't want to go into that story because it's not a palatable one at all. Then chapter 7. A pathological serial cheater who will stop at nothing to sleep with anything in skirts that crosses his path, including his house help. Wifey knows. They've been dating since their secondary school, and it's been sort of a vicious cycle. He will cheat, he will lie, she will find out, she will forgive him, they will cry together, she may threaten to leave him at some point, but then she will come back and then rinse and repeat. No. There may be loads of them in Lagos. I will agree, certainly. There may be loads of them in Lagos, but it's not unique to Lagos, no. This is a story that is being heard like almost everywhere. Cheaters, they are everywhere. Men who sleep with their house helps, oh please. It's almost, no, I don't want to say it's irregular. No, thank God it didn't come out from my mouth. No, it's not irregular. But there are so many of them. Many who have been found out and many who have not. But it's not unique to Lagos only. And then finally, is Lover Boy. Lover Boy loves his girlfriend like every other genuine lover boy would, right? And they move in together and they have a child. They're not married yet. And then Lover Boy makes the mistake of proposing marriage to Lover Girl. And what does Lover Girl do? Every other person will believe that Lover Girl will jump at this proposal and pick up the ring and walk into happily ever after. But not Lover Girl. Lover Girl instead walks out of the marriage. No, not out of the marriage. Walks out of the relationship because she does not want to commit. And Lover Boy is he's devastated. He cannot even pick himself up together. He is trying to win back Lover Girl. One is that I don't think this is unique to Lagos. I may be wrong. Remember, I put a disclaimer at first. So if you think this is unique to Lagos, please let me know. But in my opinion, no, it's not unique to Lagos. And I don't think it's a common thing because many females jump at the aspect of marriage, even when they've had 1, 2, 3 kids for the man before the man proposes. They will jump at it. So this one does not really sound like a popular occurrence to me, but I may be wrong. So that's why I put this one that instead of saying it's unique to Lagos, I may rather generalize it that it can happen anywhere. So this is my two groups. The group that, yes, I agree from what I know that these stories can become real life very well in Lagos. And the one that's no, they can be heard of anywhere. Okay, so if you've listened up to this point, you'll agree with me that there is a common theme in all the stories, and it borders mostly on intimacy, gender, just everything about bedmatics and all that. But I think that a bit of a flavor would have been added or spiced up if other things that are actually very unique to Lagos were added that are not related to relationship matters. Talk of Lagos traffic. Hey, talk of landlord and tenant issues. Talk of house agents palaver. Talk of the living conditions, the one we call face BI slapping. Living condition. Talk of those kind of compounds. They are very unique to Lagos. Talk of the street foods. Talk of the pricey restaurants. Oh, talk of Lagos drivers. Have you encountered Lagos drivers? If you've not, please, you need to, because they are very unique on their own. So some of this, with a whole myriads of others, happen in Lagos and are very unique to Lagos. If they happen to you in Lagos, it's more like a sign telling you, yes, you are now in Lagos State, Nigeria. Okay, so Damilare said nearly, right? So this nearly means like 90%, right? Good. That means that there is still 10% of men who are good. So if you're single, searching, living in Lagos, or about to live in Lagos, there is still a 10%. So don't lose hope that all of them. No, it's not all of them. It's nearly. So there's 10%. And the good ones, we find the good ones. All right. Thank you for listening to this, my reflections of this sensational book. Did I enjoy it? Very well, because I'm a Nigerian and I could relate to so many things. It was quite a read and I enjoyed every piece of it. Though, I'm not gonna lie, there was at a point I was like, we're just repeating one thing here. We're just revolving around one theme. Like I said earlier, I would have wanted a bit of a spice up with some other things, but it's all right. It's fine. If you know of any book that contains other things that are unique to Lagos, please recommend. I would like to read. Until next time.